Morning. It's Monday, April 27th, and this is the pre-market analysis for QOL Trading. And before we get into our normal routine, I wanted to go over a few things for everybody here. So we're starting out here. What you see, everybody sees, is our website. We actually had this website for quite some time right now. It's QOLtrading.com. I put it in the chat there, and it's also in the description down below. And the reason why I'm showing you this is we put out our 6th edition newsletter on this past Sunday. And in order to get that, it's free. Just you have to come onto the website and come down here, put your name in, your email address in here, and join the QOL circle, and it's a done deal. Also, you can go around, you can take a look at the website, different things that we have on here as far as psychology and different things that we offer other than our pre-market analysis and in the trade room as well. So QOLtrading.com, put your name, email address in here, boom, done deal. And then once you do that, this is what you'll get on Sundays. You'll get an email. It's pretty much what happened in the markets the previous week and what to expect market ahead. So it's pretty descriptive. I put some time into it, and this is, I'm just going to kind of brush through it. This is what you get every week, and it doesn't cost you anything. So just sign. All you have to do is sign up, give us your email address, and then you have all this fun stuff with levels and all geopolitical stuff that's been happening in the world right now. So that's pretty much all you have to do is go and put your email address in there, and then it's a done deal. Next thing for some housekeeping stuff, let's get rid of this. Let's talk about Discord. So Discord, those of you that are on Discord right now, so every day before I start, I put on the pre-market and post-market analysis. I put a link for what you're watching right now for the pre-market analysis. I just started posting levels also. So I had a request from my buddy out down in Zurich. He asked me for some levels, and I posted them in here. Microsoft, United Healthcare, and then MicroStrategies. So I put those in there. So if you have a request for some different levels, I'll be posting some levels in here in the levels channel here on our Discord station. However, I do not do penny stocks, so just keep that in mind. Stick to the companies that are making money. Also, for our live trading right now, it is no longer free, unfortunately. So if you want to get access to our live trading, our QOL Trading Desk, QOL Trading Desk from 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, just come right here below the levels and just click on here, get Trade Desk access. And in here, it's pretty explanatory. You click on here, and you click on WAP, it'll take you to your site, click join, put in your information, and it's a done deal. There's also a free access. Free access just gets you to our website and all the rest of the channels, but it does not get you to our trade desk from 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. So if you want to do that, join. It's a monthly charge, and I'm on there currently Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. And so it's a real good deal. Considering what I charge when I do mentoring on an hourly one-on-one basis. So go ahead and take a look at that. And then aside from that, you guys know what else is happening in here. I'll typically come down here in the general chat. I'll post some things in here. So Sunday I posted something also. So anyways, hope to see you in there. All right, let's get right to it here. Here's Forex. We got a heavy week this week for information. As we all know, yesterday, what's taking the headlines of the news is the attempted assassination yesterday or Saturday night in the at the press conference. I forget what it's called. It's like the honoring the press. So unfortunately, that would have been a good time for Trump and the Trump administration and the press to kind of have some laughs with one another, because normally they do not get along. But nothing on the agenda for today. As far as tomorrow is concerned, you have consumer confidence at 9 a.m. Weekly unemployment change at 7:15. I don't see anything earth-shattering in there. And then Wednesday, you have building permits. And then Thursday, what do we have Thursday? Thursday, I don't see anything too earth-shattering on Thursday. Friday, and then Friday's pretty clean too. But what's really on the docket for this week is we have earnings here. So tomorrow before the opening, we have UPS. It's a pretty good indication on the economy as far as shipping, what's happening there. Wednesday is the big day for Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, Alphabet, Qualcomm. Those are all happening after the close after the close on Wednesday. And then you have Eli Lilly pre-market on Thursday. And then after the close on Thursday, you have Apple. And then you finish up the week with Chevron. I don't see anything happening too much there. Ford, there's just, if you take a look at the whole week, holistically, you've got every gambit covered here, right? You've got UPS, you have Coca-Cola, you've got BP, you got the oil companies in here, you've got the lending companies, the credit card companies. Everything is covered this week, so I think it's going to be a pretty volatile week. So you got to watch yourself with your levels here. So let's get into it right now. Let's start off with the VIX here. The VIX is still down, so that's good for stocks here. Kind of gapped up a little bit right now, so we're still at that $17.46 right now. That's a little bit of a gap up. That has to be closed. You also have some gap downs that are still open here from April 8th, and then you've got the last gap down at $30.34 from March 30th. So those are still open. However, we are below the 20-day moving average at $21.57, kind of hovering above the 200-day moving average at $18.29. So kind of in a holding pattern right there. So let's get into the oils. Oils are elevated. The ceasefire is, I think it's kind of a moving target with the ceasefire. So you're gonna have to watch those. You're gonna have to watch what's going on in the Middle East right now. I think that the biggest issue right now is that nobody knows who's in charge in Iran. So that's the biggest issue that they're going to have right now as far as cutting a deal right now. So I think that's why they held off on sending people out there to make this ceasefire official. So we're still above the 20-day moving average, $100.82 a barrel. So it's still elevated out there, over in the Middle East right now. So I would, like to see this below the 20-day moving average. So pretty elevated right now. So you got to keep an eye on that. And then as far as what's happening here in the States here, below $100 a barrel, I like that. As long as we stay below the 20-day moving average, I'm fine with that. So we're kind of caught in between the 50, which is $87.85 a barrel, and 20-day at $97.30. I'm fine with that. It's okay. Prices are elevated at the pump, but I think that's going to be short-lived. I think that's definitely going to be transitory, and so that once the strait opens up, I think these prices will come down significantly. So hopefully that'll happen soon, and we won't be paying so much to pump. So ES still kind of consolidating here, but it's just grinding higher, almost at that 127% Fibonacci level. Extension at 72.3641. Levels to contend with right now. I would say that your line in the sand down here, 7,000. What do we got there? 7,089. That's a decent level to watch. And if we pull back there, I would like that level as a long. And then below that, you have that open point of control at 769.45. Unfortunately, we still have this open point of control at 68.57.77. So we are, we have been grinding higher, and we are consolidating here right now. So there could still be some more room to go on the upside. However, it's going to pull back at some point. When is the $1 million question? So right now, consolidating here and still making new highs. So you made some new highs in pre-market right now, and we'll see where it happens. I think you'd like to pull back to some of these levels. So just take a peek at these levels. This is a pretty decent level here. This point of control at 7069.45. It also aligns with this midline regressional trend line here that I have from October 12th of 2022. So that's a pretty decent level right there. So let's go move over to the SPY. By the way, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, and like this video. On the SPY, same thing on the SPY here, inching higher, in my eyes, it's all consolidating at a higher level right now. Everybody's kind of sitting here in a waiting pattern. You have the pullback levels that I would actually like to see, it's quite a bit of ways, but this is really the ideal pullback level is 682.26. I know it's quite a bit of ways, but your initial pullback, first bounce, you could see it responded real nicely to the 702 level, and that was from the all-time high from April 16th, right? So you can see we busted through there. You broke through it, break and retest here. Retested it once, retested it twice on last Thursday. Friday still inched higher, right? So higher highs, higher lows. So it's still inching higher right now. So it's just pretty much stair stepping. So, but if we lose these levels, this is where you're going to come in. So this actually created an open point of control right here. So I'm going to move this right here. Actually, I could just do this. So I'm going to grab that, and I'm just going to redo that. So it was 424.26 point of control. So we created another point of control level that's open. So I would not be surprised if that pulls back to that level. That'd be a good level for today, for it to pull back to. And then below that, this is another regressional trend line here, and this is from October 13th of 2022 as well. So I'd like to see some pullbacks. I don't like it to continue to go higher without any pullbacks. I think there's a lot of dry powder sitting on the sidelines waiting for the pullback, and I think that at some point when that dry powder means cash on the sidelines, when people are just waiting and they're like, oh my God, it's going to continue to go, when they start putting in their money, and when I say they, I'm going to say retail investors, because I think the institutional people, I think that they learned their lesson in 2020, in 2024 and 25, beginning of 2025, and they were not late to this party. I think the retail investors right now, I think they're the ones who are sitting with their cash on the sidelines right now. And I think when they finally had enough and they start putting their money in, that's when I would be concerned. And so that's probably going to be coming soon. We'll see what happens there. But you can see things are just constantly making new highs. When you see these bubbles like this, I turn on my screens. The more I see bubbles, that's new highs. I know that's happening right away. So NASDAQ failing a little bit right now. Pre-market, not bad. Like to see pullback to these levels. This is a pretty good level. I'd like to see a pullback. You can see how this comes back and it bounced off of this level. We broke through it, bounced here. And so that level right there, 26,569, pretty decent level. You have a bunch of levels for some support on the way down first. So watch those levels there. But again, we have these open point of control levels all the way back here from April 15th, 26,181.19. And then the last point of control that's still open here from 13th of April, 25,310.69, and it kind of aligns with the the 20 days is edged higher now, because every day the market moves higher. These moving averages move higher as well with the market, right? So still very extended from the moving averages. The market likes to come back down to these moving averages and test them, right? So take a picture of these levels that I have here. I think your first level, I'm not even going to pay attention to that 27,185.75. You could use that as that first level, and it did bounce here on Friday, so not a bad level for your first pullback bounce. But I think that if you're getting some selling right now, I think it's going to plow through that, and your first level of support beyond that is going to be 26,901.75, and then a good level is 26,569, and then a previous all-time high that was from October 2025. 26,399. I like that level. That's a pretty decent level. It's also sitting right above this regressional trend line from October 12th of 2022. So that's going to be a pretty decent level as well. So let's get over to the Qs, and then we'll get over to Tesla, and we will talk about what we're going to trade for today, and then we'll get on with our day. So let's see here. Do we have an open point of control? We do not. No. So Qs, same thing on the Qs. Watch these levels. Did not quite hit our 127% extension Fibonacci at 674.49. So I like these level pullbacks. You can see here's a decent level. Not a bad level. I'll mark it up here right now. So this is the high from the 17th. And it comes in, pretty nicely here. You can see how it bounced off, pre and post market on Wednesday, and then Thursday dipped below it, and then got just popped right back above it there. So buyers, there's definitely a lot of dip buying happening right now. So I do like this level though. If we lost that 650 level to pull back to 642.18, it's an all-time high from the last week or 2 weeks ago. and then comes in right here with this regressional trend line for October 13th of 2022. It's 637.88. I like that level as well. And then also you could see with these open point of controls, this is right in line with the 20-day moving average at 615.30. And that's an open point of control level from the 13th of April. So you can watch that level as well. So let's get into Tesla. If you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, and like this video, please. And also down below, you can join our trading community from the by hitting the WAP link, and have live trading from 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern time. So Tesla failing these levels. There's a 20-day exponential moving average at 377.02. It's failing it in pre-market right now. You could see it right in front of your eyes. Watch that level. That's going to be a key level for today. And then also you can see this 368.39. It was the low on Wednesday, excuse me, on Thursday last week. So I would say that, watch your line in the sand here. This is Friday's low. I'm going to mark that. And this is going to be, it's probably going to try to test this low. Looks like it'll probably try to test this low, 370.73. Below that, you've got a high from April 14th of 367.63. Let me just fan out here. So as when you're looking at your charts, it's best to look at your charts holistic level. And what I mean by that is you want to look out far, right? Because you saw if I'm just looking at a chart right here, it just looks like the world is coming to an end. But then if I fan out a little bit, you could see, well, we were stair stepping higher, and now it's just a pullback that's happening here right now, right? So you go look at these levels. So I would say if you lose this 367.65 level, you have 364.46 is another level of a line of support here. It's a low from it's a weekly low from March 16th. And it's also, it's a high here from April 8th. So there's some confluence here with this 364 level. So if it pulls back there, I don't mind that level. It also has a point of control that was filled from March 30th. However, we still have this open point of control at 344.07 that we've been talking about for the longest time. It's been open here since September 4th of 2025. On the upside, if you regain this 377.82 level, I think there's a strong possibility you can push back into this, over the course of the week, push into this 390 level of 390.28, which is the 200-day exponential moving average. You're going to have some headwinds first, though, right? So you get, then first headwind is this 381.80, and that is a weekly low of from April 16th. So that's a break and retest, right? So you break that level, you come back up here and retest it. But we already retested it once. So I like when you retest something, it becomes weaker the second and third time when you retest it, right? So you have to watch it. If we come back up here, watch, if it's strong up here, or if you get a good strong rejection. If you get a good strong rejection on the first attempt here, there's still going to be some sellers up there, right? But if not, it just kind of plows through it. Watch it. This level may not hold anymore. And then here's the earnings low at 385.30, which will probably get a decent response off of that level as well. So I would say if you lose this 367.63, 364.46 is kind of a no-brainer. And here's your line in the sand right here, 363. If you lose 363, you've got 355.87. It's not, I think you're gonna get that quickly. And that's with this midline regressional trend line that I have here from the all-time highs. And then if you lose this level right here, this 350, call it that's a weekly high from September of 2025. If you lose that level at 356, I think you're coming down to 340.55, and then maybe you come down and you could finally fill that 344.07 gap right there. So take a peek at these levels right here. These are your line in the sand levels. If you lose this support levels here, I don't see anything here supporting it, right? So watch yourself right now on these levels, because you are below the 20-day exponential moving average. You're well below the 200-day exponential moving average. And if you take a look and see where we are on our regular moving averages, we still are above the 20-day moving average at 369.13. So that's a strong point right there. But we will probably come down here, and it looks like it wants to go and test that level right now. If you lose that 20-day moving average, then I think that you're going to, you could experience some pretty significant downside here pretty quickly. You can see the 100-day moving average is way up here at 415.76. The 200-day moving average is at 486 level. You have that, you can't see it right now because it's kind of blocked out, but you had the 50 at 387.08. So our last line of support right now is this 20-day moving average. So we're below all the other main moving averages right now. This last line of support for us right now is this 20-day moving average. If we lose this 369.13 level, I think we're going to experience some downside on Tesla. So pay attention to that and watch your levels on that front. So now that being said, let's take a look at what we're going to do for trading for today. So I'm going to start out with today's expiration. So, as we all know, there's the 3 expiration dates for the week. There's 3 weeklies. So there's a today, which is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So today, April 27th, I'm going to start out with the 380 calls. It closed at $2.72 premium because we are below the close. This will probably be open up in the low 2s. So I may change that out to maybe 375 when the market opens. I have the 370 puts, and they close at $1.91. But we are lower right now since the close here. So I expect these to open up in the 2s. I would say these are probably going to open up pretty similar in premium price. So we'll see where that market opens and how we adjust that. So I would say for the first hour or so, hour and a half, I'm going to trade today's expiration date. And then I'll probably, if they get volatile, if they get big swings on the premiums, I'm probably going to switch to Wednesday's expiration date. And I'll probably widen it out, and I'll go to maybe 385. I'll extend it $5 calls out of the money and $5 on the puts. So what I mean by that is, if I buy myself more days and I go to Wednesday's expiration, I'll go to a 385 call, and then on the downside, I'll go to a 365 put. So I'm buying more days for theta. That means that the premium price will go higher, and so I can extend my my strike price out a little further. So, and as far as what we did on the 5-minute opening range on Friday, you got one move on the upside at the beginning of the morning, and then it was kind of like straight downhill after the first 20 minutes of trading. So very, very difficult, choppy to trade all this because we were waiting for more moves after this. However, if you were patient and you waited for your move, 377 was the high on the 5-minute opening range, and you got yourself probably about $5, $5 or $6 on the equity side. So if you bought a call here, probably would have equated to maybe $275, $3 on your premium. So if you bought a one lot, you made $275 or $300. And then obviously if you increase your lot size, that you increase your profits as well. So the process stays the same. Your account balance grows and you increase your lot size along the way. And so it's a process, and just watch your process. So anyways, that's going to be it for today. Again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, and like this video. And remember what I said, go to QOLtrading.com and join our subscription-based newsletter every Sunday, and it's free. And then also down below, you can join our Discord community and for free. And also, if you want to come for live trading 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, you can also join that, and that is for a fee as well with the link below. I hope to see you in there. If I don't see you in there, have a great trading day, and I'll see everybody tomorrow. Talk to you soon.